And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster and I'm touching base with you as I always do. And today is Trend Watch Thursday, and that means all breaking news and headlines. And I'm sharing the stage with my buddy and pal, Chris Edwards.
Good morning.
Hear the crowds. Hear the crowd. That's the crowd sound.
They're going crazy.
Yeah, so what's going on, buddy? How are you on this Thursday morning?
I am looking forward to the weekend. I mean, these weeks are just flying by and they're so jam-packed with just stuff to do.
It is it is almost the middle of the month. I'm like,
Already.
I just can't. I just can't keep up. It's too much going on. So anyway, who's in the audience? Who's starting our day off with? Who are we starting the day off with? We got the wonderful G. Good morning, GR Houston Jack. And right after her is the Lisa Seeley. Yes, my dear. And then we have our Hannah. Hannah, good morning. And then we got our wonderful Chrissy's Corner. Miss Chrissy. Chrissy, we need to get together. I'm going to keep saying it until we make it happen. We are neighbors. Let's do it. Come over to
morning,
Connecticut
everyone.
Muffins. Come over to Connecticut Muffins.
So wait, hold on. I'm curious. Gwendolyn, she's counting down to her tech disconnect. I'm taking you going on vacation.
I'm counting down to my tech disconnect. Yes, because like myself, she and I on the same week of off technology. So, however, I will be off here, but I will have all replays. So this is something great about being on YouTube and being on StreamYard, is that during the week that I'm on vacation, the 10 days, I will be airing all the best ofs. So yeah, so it'll be Mondays the best of, Tuesday the best of, Tuesday tips, Thursday, Wednesday will be the Wisdom Wednesday, and then Thursday, since Kristen and I won't be here together, we will have Teaching Wednesday. It'll just be, and I create banners and everything, so that way the show will go on, and you guys will still have the best ofs during my vacation time. However, that doesn't mean I will be away from you. Ooh, what does that mean? I will be on a mostly, I would say 90%. No, let's go with 80%. 80% cyber vacation, meaning I won't do anything I'm not going to be doing anything really. However, I am going to a couple of places while I'm in North Carolina and possibly South Carolina. And I might share those with you guys while, in the moment, because how I roll. But it will not be on Instagram. It will be on YouTube. I will be sharing from now on YouTube. My days of Instagram is simply just to bring people over to YouTube. Once in a while do something on YouTube. On Instagram. But Instagram, there's no traction. There's no reason to even be on it any longer. For those that are doing well in Instagram, God bless you. But for most people, they are not. And I was telling, I don't know if it's Gwendolyn or somebody was telling, I said, I actually went through some of the accounts online, because me, I gotta create a theory, and I need stats. So what I ended up doing was going through Chris's page, my page, a bunch of pages, people that had 1 million followers, people that had more than 10,000 followers, some people that had 500,000 followers. And the number that seems to be consistent, only 0.001% of your audience sees your work. Can I say that again? From the numbers that I've tabulated, 0.001% see what you're posting. So therefore, it is a waste of our time for the most part. I mean, obviously, those that are following you, like, get the, and you have the notifications on, they get to see your work and all that stuff. But
well,
most,
here's something.
well, go ahead.
I don't know if you know, and I'm not sure how true this is, but a couple people that I follow on Instagram, they were sharing how Instagram was actually testing a tiered verified system where you can pay $15 to get the verified, but the more you pay on the verified scale, the more viewers they'll send your way.
See, so, yeah, I'm done with it. I'm done.
Money grab.
But it's all about money grab.
Yeah, I'm not sure how true it is, but I guess we'll find out over the summer.
I mean, I went through a, because we have several people in this community that have more than 10,000 followers. Like yourself, Chris. Lisa has more than 10,000 followers. Jamel Shabazz has more than 10,000 followers. We had yesterday. Chaz was on yesterday. Chaz,
he was great, by the way.
Oh my God, Mr. Langley was so good. If you guys missed yesterday, now we had some technical difficulties. However, Chaz Langley, fellow Brooklynite, is an incredible person. So just, you want to go to YouTube yesterday's Wisdom Wednesday, and he definitely dropped gems for everyone.
He's a Renaissance man as well.
He is a Renaissance man.
Yeah.
And it was so, first of all, I didn't know if he was going to respond. And so I reached out to him and said, hey, I follow your work. And would you come on to the Touch Base Daily? I didn't hear anything. Like crickets. And then out of nowhere, he sends me a text. Hey, yeah, this is great. I love the idea. And then I didn't hear from him again. And then next thing you know, I saw that he had filled out the invitation, because for those that behind the scenes, if I invite someone onto this platform, I send them out an invite, and that invite has a connection to my calendar, and they get to pick what day is best for them. So they picked the date, and so I had gone to my calendar, my what we call Tidy Cow. I use Tidy Cow. Went through, and I saw that he had said, he had already scheduled and everything, and I was like, yes. And so it was so good to have him on yesterday. But yesterday we had some technical difficulties in the beginning, so it looks a little wonky, the video, but we dove right in. So don't worry about all the quirkiness of that little space of time. And Omar says Ron needs a producer. I do.
Listen, the one thing I walked away from at the end of the show, and I put it in the chat, you need to be on the sofa, and you need to be on his show. I was so impressed by just all the things that he's done, and then the fact that he does his podcast and YouTube show in his living room. Mm-hmm. I love the backdrop, and I love the vibrant colors. But I thought I was very fascinated with him. And the moment you put up his YouTube channel, I went and followed it, and I watched some stuff yesterday of his. Really loved that talk you guys had.
I'm going to actually have to share it, because it's just, I mean, again, his page is wonderful. I love his logo. I mean, the guy is so, like I said, I just like watching him on screen interacting with people. And he's also helped me in interacting with people by watching his videos. I was like, hey, I can walk up to people and just say, hey, you look nice, and then photograph them. And he has so many. So you just go through his page, check it out. It was absolutely wonderful. And again, the energy is incredible. And then I reflected and remembered, I said, wait a minute, I know him. I know him from last year when I was at Photoville. And I was like, and so then on air, you guys heard me say, well, were you at Photoville and were you wearing a green jumper? And we started talking and laughing about that, because there's certain people that cross your path in life that really, without saying a word to you, in some cases, can spur curiosity or spur to maybe adjust your gameplay and maybe step it up a little bit. And so he's one of those brothers, a beautiful person, beautiful soul. And so we're looking for, he'll be back on again, because we were like, we got to give you the whole hour. And now that we got this whole StreamYard thing worked out. So, but it was excellent. So
Lisa left during the technical break.
Lisa says, she says, I have to watch. I left on the technical break. She was like, I'm out of here. They need to get it together over there. Elise says, I missed it. Yesterday was my travel day. Oh, Elise, where are you? Where in the country or the world are you? Chrissy says, I loved his wisdom and I followed him too. So a lot of you guys followed him yesterday. So that's a beautiful thing, having him on, and then you guys supporting his work and supporting what he does. And so check him out. Check out our Touch Base Daily from yesterday. You will be intrigued. I do believe so. Okay. Well, can I ask you guys? I need this. This is going to help me. So today I'm being a little selfish, at least for this moment.
Come on, be selfish.
What are you thankful for today? What are you thankful for this morning? Or if you're across the globe, this evening, this afternoon, wherever you are,
today,
morning
what are you
somewhere,
thankful for?
This afternoon somewhere, and this evening somewhere. So today, what are you thankful for? This is going to help me. So, what are you thankful for? Put it in the comment box. What are you thankful for? Because, this is also our Thankful Thursday. So we just want to make sure that we pop that in. But this morning, I need to know.
Okay.
Chris is like, okay. So here it is. G says, thankful for my hubs, who is my ride or die partner. Her husband is incredible. Yes, he is.
I can concur with that statement on my end as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And Adrian says, I took a deep breath in and exhaled. Thankful for life. That's a good one. I like that one. I see Bryson says, what's up to us? Okay. How you doing, Bri? Lisa says, thankful for being able to spend time with my 80-year-old mother.
Oh, nice. Come on now. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. You
Not
guys are
everyone
encouraging
gets that.
now. I feel encouragement coming up. I feel encouragement swelling up. Here we go. Testify, they say. Testify. That's what makes people stronger and in our gratefulness. Kimmy says, thankful I can relax and do me.
Come on, girl.
You go.
Do you.
You go. And Elise says, I'm thankful for my husband and family and just being here. Yes. I love it. I love it.
Above ground.
Above ground, right? Being above ground is an extra blessing. It's an extra blessing. And Kelly A says, thankful that my family is safe from the tornadoes on yesterday.
Okay.
Can we talk about those tornadoes? Do we get all the thankfulness in here? I'm still looking. Okay. So thank those tornadoes. Gwendolyn and I have been talking about these tornadoes for 2 days. She's been sending me footage. I've been going back and forth with her.
I've been seeing a lot of them on.
Yes, go ahead, Tim. Go ahead, Tim.
No, I'm just saying, I've been seeing a lot of the footage. I mean, people. it's actually kind of terrifying to watch these people record this stuff because they're like literally right. The tornadoes are on top of them, and they're still outside recording. And then they run inside like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, what did you expect to happen? This tornado's coming through, and now your house is gone, but you're still filming it. I mean,
I was
yeah.
Gwendolyn and I said the same thing yesterday. Tornadoes. I mean, I've been in hurricanes. I've been in the street during hurricanes. I've been in snowstorms. I've been in blizzards. I've been in hailstorms. I've actually was in Mount Washington once a year as I was hiking Mount Washington, and it got to near the top of the Mount Washington, and literally looked into the valley and watched a storm form right before my eyes. Like it began to swirl, like someone was stirring it in a basin, and the storm grew and got bigger and bigger. And before you knew it, it overcame the mountain. We were all socked in clouds, but we watched it from the very beginning. So I've seen a lot of weather situations, but I have never in my life, and I hope maybe, as they say, knock on wood, not to see a tornado. Even though it would be great to photograph, me and my craziness,
from a good distance,
from a distance with a telescopic lens.
There you go, a 300 millimeter.
Those tornadoes were wicked. They had more than 300 warnings in 1 hour. In what was it? It was the day before yesterday. Could not believe it. It was the whole middle of the country was filled with tornadoes and thunderstorms, hell, and it was crazy. Yeah. Guys, if you look at the footage, and so Gwendolyn kept sending me footage from the Weather Channel, and then I would see something and send it to her because we're geeks. And I don't think there's anything more amazing on earth than tornadoes. I mean, the way they come together, the way they form, we watch the FedEx plants we were laughing because we were saying there's going to be someone that's going to call the FedEx. Where's my package?
Look on TV.
Look on TV. Like half our plant was destroyed. And but we literally watch. It was the trees are all lined up around the structure. There's cars, and then next thing you know, you see this tornado just like it's just like it's eating away. The trees, and then you saw the building just crumbling.
Well, the odd thing about this is like, of course, global warming is real for those weather deniers. And because of that, you're seeing so many more storms. I mean, when hurricane season starts, in next month, you're going to see a lot more storms. They predicted there's going to be a lot more dangerous hurricanes. But I was watching because when I can't sleep in the middle of the night, I'll probably sometimes go on TikTok. And for whatever reason, my feed is filled with tornado sightings, and there were a ton of them. And sometimes in the one frame of someone's phone camera, you saw 3 tornadoes forming in neighborhoods. Some of them did only one touch down on the ground, but you see them starting to spiral and come down and then go sideways. And it's that has to be terrifying because you know that your house can do nothing. I mean, once it gets in the path of that thing, it's gone. You can forget about it. So pray that you have a basement.
And also, like Gwendolyn always tells me, she says, Ron, my biggest fear is when you go to sleep. Because not like thunderstorms, especially on the East Coast, when you get these major thunderstorms that are coming through, lightning, hail, all that stuff, after the sun sets, they die out because of the ocean. Not in the Midwest. It becomes even more dangerous at night. And because people are asleep, tornadoes still can form in the middle of the night. And the footage I saw yesterday and the day before yesterday was just mind-blowing. And I used to think tornadoes was an American phenomenal. Even though we have more tornadoes than any place in the world, they have tornadoes in Australia. They have tornadoes in China. I did not know that there were other places that had tornadoes. So I learned a lot this week about tornadoes. And just when you think you know something. And speaking of tornadoes, Bryson in Bryson form says, hope all watch the new trailer Twisters comes out July 19th.
I didn't see that. I'm gonna go check that out.
And so yeah, it's about the weather chasers, tornado chasers, weather chasers in the Midwest chasing down this massive, I think it's supposed to be 3 tornadoes in that movie. It's not just one tornado, there's like 3 tornadoes happening at the same time. I think, for those that are, yes, these are the geeky things that I look at, especially in movies. I see here, Lisa says, seems like there are so many weather disturbances now than when I was younger. Mother Nature is active. Yes, she is. And
Yes,
she is not happy. She is
She
not
is
happy the way
mad.
Earth is, the way humans are treating her. Brian says, I need to tell y'all about experiencing a tornado firsthand. Ooh. Oh, Brian, we got to hear that one. And Elise says, so many houses, so many house in areas with tornadoes don't have basements. They need a shelter.
That makes no sense to me. Like, it's funny because like when you design homes in like earthquake zones, you have to they have certain specifications. If you live in a tornado-ridden area in this country, it should be mandatory that you have a basement that
Well,
you
no,
can
I
go
don't
to
think
and
it's.
seek
I
refuge.
think they don't have basements because if the house collapsed, you would be stuck. I think you have to go. They have these sheds that
Oh,
are
you have to go
away
outside.
from the house.
Whatever. You need to have some type of place where you can get underground, because
Yeah,
that's the
underground
only thing that's
bunker.
going to save you. Unless you can get in
Yeah.
a bathtub and cover yourself with something, and even
Oh
that's
yeah,
not.
that's the other thing. Get in the bathtub and take a door and put it over you. But how many people unhinge their doors?
Exactly?
There it goes. Adrian says storm cellars. They
Yeah.
have storm cellars because you have to be able to get out in case that house collapse.
Even
So
though, I mean, that means nothing else, because tornado, it's not like they take up the house and drop it right back where it was. Like, you've got people's houses from a couple blocks over that are coming and landing on top of you, so it
yeah,
could land on top of
it could
these
land on your
doors.
door.
Yeah.
Lisa said it's weird we have basements in New York but no tornadoes. Yeah, well, we've had one tornado in New York City. It was a small tornado, but it was like small little. It showed, but then it went back up, so it didn't actually land. I don't think we
they
had a
had a tornado
landing.
on Long Island too, many
Yeah, and
years
we had
ago.
one in Jersey. We had a couple in
Listen,
Jersey.
we have quite a few here in Delaware. As a matter of fact, last summer I remember we had a couple tornado warnings, and look out my bedroom window and you see the clouds like they're starting to do stuff, and just praying it doesn't come down all the way.
Gwendolyn says, at least says smart. I wrongfully assumed most okay homeowners had a shelter. That's just not the case. Yeah, that is not the case. Not everyone has a shelter. Elise says her niece has in Oklahoma has an underground shelter. Yeah, I would, if I had a home in the Midwest. I don't even know why people. I mean, I know it sounds. I don't even know how anyone. My psyche, because I'm a worrywart in some ways. It's like Russian roulette in the
Shelter.
Midwest. Shelter. Anyway, that's it. That's what's going on with in Tornado Alley. I see here. Lisa says, I always think about what if they can't get to my underground shelter in time. I'm claustrophobic. Oh yeah, I'm not. Am I? You know what? I have a little bit of claustrophobia. You know what thing I cannot do, and I've always wanted to do, and I wish I could do, is they call it spelunking, and that is
No,
going
thank you.
caving. I would always
Yeah,
want, but I can't see myself being in the ground, 2-3 Empire State Buildings down, and climbing and and not having the air that I'm used to. Yeah. So I will never be a cave dweller. So just
I'm
putting it
good.
out there. Kelly says, yes, that would be ideal, but I don't know many people that have them in Tennessee. Oh, wow. So this seems to be interesting that there are a lot of people that live in Tornado Alley that don't have shelters. Is that what we're coming to the conclusion of? Here I see Brian says tornado I survived was an F3, F4 direct hit and came without much warning. Oh, I almost want to have you on here, Bryson, to talk about Brian, to talk about this tornado event. But we have other headlines, so we need to get to them. So, so this one that become a tornado conversation for the whole show. Bryson says, like the trailer. Okay, here we go. Lisa said, it's not the norm though, but basements are pretty normal. Kimmy Kemp used to never worry about tornadoes in Philly, but now they are very near us. Yes. Look, we didn't have to worry about them in New York area, but they've been happening close. They're getting closer.
Delaware, Jersey.
I wonder, I mean, I'm terrified of the day that we see a tornado in New York City, like in Manhattan.
That's
like in the movies.
And that's called end of times. Or
oh
end of
my
days.
God. I can't even imagine.
Listen, think about it. We're now getting used to the fact that we can have tornadoes. We have already we deal with hurricanes. We just had an earthquake here. I mean, what else? What's going to happen next? A volcano is going to erupt out of Central Park.
Hell, don't go there. Anyway, G says, my first year living in Dallas, I had to deal with an F0 tornado. If I didn't meet my husband, I would be back in Houston. So in Houston, they don't have is that because it's by the ocean, but that Houston does not have tornadoes? I did not know that. Lisa says, I haven't had a proven diagnosis, but I'm pretty sure my claustrophobia came from my older brother sitting on my... Sorry, Lisa. I'm sorry to laugh at this, but sitting on me when we were younger. I'm so sorry to hear that, Lisa. But that's a real... That claustrophobia is real. Okay, what else is in the headlines? Chris, you want to take it? You want to take it from here? What's going on? What's happening in the headlines today?
Well,
besides Trump, besides,
I have something outside of Trump.
You have something outside of Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, so, go for it.
All right, back in 2018, I believe it was when. Sorry, I have to say his name. When Trump was in office, he made this deal with, I think it was which state was it? I think it was Wisconsin or Minnesota, something like that. But anyway, to bring a huge manufacturing plant, Foxconn, to one of those Midwest states.
To Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, yes. So it was a $3 billion deal.
Yes.
And what they did, the government bought up all the homes. It was almost like a new development. Bought up all the homes and had the people relocate.
And destroy some of the homes.
Right. And had promised the local economy, I think it was like 12,000 permanent jobs.
I think it was 13,000 jobs.
Okay, 13,000 jobs. Yeah. And then also, it would bring in revenue, this and that. Foxconn did build, but they built a much smaller scale. They only hired about 1,000 full-time employees, and basically wiped out the town. I think got downgraded as far as their financial ratings, and a lot of them were in financial ruin because they had spent like 3 times what their annual budget was as far with tax incentives. But anyway, yesterday Biden announced that he got Microsoft to basically come in and build a new AI facility plant there, and is going to basically generate revenue from employees working on the project, and then full-time employees, and then it will spur growth around the community. So basically, the broken promises of the Trump administration is now being fixed and rehabilitated by the Biden administration. So when people say that Biden isn't doing anything, they're not paying attention to these specific news stories, because this is what he's been doing since he's been in office. He's been fixing all the broken
infrastructure
crap that Trump has promised or never even dealt with. And I was listening to someone, I think it was Lawrence O'Donnell, or it might have been I think it was him. But anyway, talking about how there are polls out there saying that people are equating both of them when it comes to infrastructure. Trump did nothing. He kept saying it was infrastructure. He said it was infrastructure week every week during his time in his administration, and did nothing. Whereas Biden has done so many things. When you see potholes being filled, when you see new bridges being built, when you see manufacturing plants being built and coming online, these are all causes and effect of the Biden administration and all the legislation that they passed and the money they sent out. Now, mind you, none of the Republicans voted for any of this stuff, but when it came time to publicize how their state is doing, they were promoting it, even though they voted against it. So, I mean, people pay attention to what's going on in the news. Of course, inflation's high, but that has nothing to do with Biden and what he's doing. Ron and I have said this many occasions, globally, the U.S. is doing so much better than anywhere else in the world. Inflation is high, but it's not as high as some other places in the world. And we're doing so much better financially than the globe as a whole.
So true. And we know for the last 40 years that the economy has done better under Democrats versus Republicans. And that is fact. And like I said, I am not a Republican or a Democrat, so I get to say what I need. I can say it because I have no bias. I have no skin in the game on either side. However, I do have a skin in the game for democracy. Speaking of democracy,
yes, I want to talk about this one.
What's happening with Fani Willis now? Fani Willis. It is, guys. Thank you for this, Kim. That's why I like you guys. You guys give us the headlines, and we'll talk about it together. That's how about that. That's how it's going to work today. The court, the whole court process, the whole thing against Trump, Fulton County, is now on hold. It will not. It is not going to happen. It is not going to happen because now they have gone to the appeal. They went to appeal and have Fani Willis taken off the trial.
Yeah. So she had won. Well, I don't say there's a winner or loser, but when she was taken to court to see if she should be removed, the judge said, we're not going to take her off, but we think in order for this to proceed, you need to have your lead prosecutor recuse himself from this case. He did that, but because of the ruling, there was still a little bit of leeway where they can always come back and appeal it. Now they're going to a full panel, and what that's ultimately doing basically is delaying the trial, and to see if it can even happen, because this appeal panel could say, you know what, no, she's disqualified, and if she gets disqualified, her whole entire department was disqualified, and it would be up to someone that they either appoint. Yeah, and they would see if they want to take this to trial or not. So it either could be delayed after the election, or not happen, or totally dismissed completely. And here's the thing: for all those of us that wanted Trump to go on trial for all these other cases, everything is on hold. The only case that is going on now is this one in New York. That's the only one. The one in Florida is delayed indefinitely because of an incompetent judge. Cannon, I believe her name is. She's never
let's
done
talk
a trial
about
like this.
Florida, once again, it's always Florida. If it ain't
Always.
Texas, it's Florida. Sorry, Texans. But if it ain't Texas, it's Florida.
Yeah.
And she the judge in the in that with the the boxes and the document case is now postponed
Indefinitely.
indefinitely.
Yeah.
Indefinitely.
And what she cited is that's a very complex case, and you have a lot of judges and a lot of lawyers coming out against her because she's had a lot of hearings that she could have had months ago, and she hasn't done anything with them. She's literally just sat on them, just put them on a neat little stack and shoved it to the back of the cabin and said, "I'll get with it whenever I want to." Basically, what she is doing is giving Trump an out by delaying this. No one can question, her if she's delaying it or not. There is one option for Jack Smith is to get her to be removed from the case, but even doing that will delay it
She's still
even
gonna delay
more.
it. It'll be
So,
way past the
it,
election. It doesn't matter.
yeah.
And so
So,
I have a question for this audience. What has anyone in the, I mean, it seems that again, there's these folks that say the judicial system will save us. Justice will save us.
I don't know about that.
It's not going to happen. Justice will not save us. The judicial system will not save us from Trump. So I have a question to everyone in this audience. Have you sat down for a moment to imagine Trump back in office? And if you have, what are your thoughts about what you will do? That's a question.
Moving to another country, it sounded like a strong possibility. No, I'm being dead serious when I say that.
I know you are. You are serious.
It's rather scary. You think that he's coming for women. He's coming for people of color. He is coming for LGBTQIA plus people. If you do not look like him, a white male, he's coming for you and everything that you have.
So my question is, what are you guys in the audience? Have you guys thought about it? Have you kind of like pondered the thought of, I need a game plan? I mean, I've had a game plan, but I want to hear your game plan. Elise says, I want to move. Where would you move, Elise? Where would you go? Chrissy says, my passport is ready. I will be out of here. And I'm just curious. I it's a thought that I am now thinking about more often because I don't even trust this. I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to be a positive attitude about this, but I don't trust the American country. I do not trust the people of this country to do the right thing. Judging that 50%, well, let me get the exact number. Let me go back. 35% of voters that are registered want to vote for Trump. 35% also want to vote for Biden. So that's an even split. And then you have RFK.
Yes.
He gets 19% of the vote.
Can I say something about that? Because I was listening to my MSNBC podcast when I was walking this morning from last night, and I did not realize this came out. This was a reporter reported on this, and how she found out about it was through a court filing. R.F. Kennedy deals with some mental deficiencies, and it's stemming from he actually had a brain a tapeworm in his brain that is still there. The worm is dead and calcified, but it's affecting. Part of it might be that affecting him, but also he had mercury poisoning, and the mercury poisoning came from his excessive consumption of sushi tuna and even regular tuna and fish. So when you hear the way he talks, and then sometimes like his thinking seems to be off, a lot of it could probably be attested to those two things. So people need to pay attention to listen to these things. And here's the other thing too. He will probably be the deciding factor as far as who wins the election, because he's actually getting a lot more the ballots in a lot more states. So he is actually in this race. You can't discount him.
No, first of all, Dr. Gupta did a good thing on a good piece on CNN. I did not know. I mean, I've heard of it, but it was like once, maybe in another country. I think it was. I don't even know where I heard of it, but that this worm got into the brain and began to eat the brain.
Yeah,
that's shocking to me.
yeah,
And they were saying that it's found common among people that eat pork, and it's not cooked totally. It was the most fascinating topic. I had never. Has anyone
yeah.
heard of this before?
And it affects
Have any of you heard
his
of
memory.
this?
We mean
I'm curious.
with him or just in general?
Just in general.
Oh no, you hear stories like it's very rare, but it does happen where people have tapeworms and they can travel up to the brain and did not know that your brain actually can fight a tapeworm, and that's how the tapeworm died. It was his own brain fighting back against the tapeworm that killed it. It's still there. He didn't have surgery to remove it. They said it poses no harm. It's calcified, but it's there. But he has some because where the part of the brain that it was eating, I believe it affected some of his short-term and long-term memory. So,
yeah, that's why he said he went to get checked out because
he thought he had a brain tumor.
Yeah, because his brain, he wasn't processing, and his short-term memory was gone, or
Yeah,
it been compromised.
And the reason why they thought it was the reason why he thought it was a brain tumor was, one, he started having headaches, and his uncle had died of brain cancer the year before. So they already had a team assembled, and he did scans, and they told him yes, it was a brain tumor. But then there was another doctor, I believe in Massachusetts or Rhode Island, one of those places, that said you do not have a brain tumor. We think you have some type of parasite. And when they scanned his body again, they saw there was a tapeworm.
That is interesting. At least as it sounds like an episode of the Show House. Kimmy says, I think about at least going somewhere before inauguration. Oh, this is back to Witty. Yeah, so the thought is, have any of you guys thought, I mean, we got onto JFK, but I'm sorry, not JFK, RFK Jr. Have any of you thought about, because for those that don't realize, I mean, most people in this audience know, but in case you happen to be first time here, we have been talking about Project 2025. And I am so glad that several places like Joy Reid, Veshi on MSNBC, there's a young lady on CNN, there's another person on, I think it's two people on CNN, that have been really digging into Project 2025. So there are some media folks out there that are really diving in to 2025.
It's becoming more mainstream now.
Yeah, Derek says, I got an alert from Huffington Post that the GOP is going full on with the death penalty on page 554 of Project 2025 if Trump wins. For those, again, we will repeat. Project 2025 is real. And it's being implemented in so many ways right now. The groundwork, the doing away with the educational system, the doing away with the environmental protections, doing away with the legal justice system the way we know it, the doing away with the rules for presidencies. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So I again, the challenge is for everyone to continue to read Project 2025. It is, I would think it would be so important to you because we all have to have a plan. And the only way to know the only way to create a plan is to know what the danger is.
Yeah.
So you got to know the danger. This is no time to put your head in the sand and say, "Oh, it's going to take care of itself." this is not going to take care of itself. And
Hmm.
you know, we have Elise in here. She's our 2025 guru as well. A bunch of folks in
Our
here that really
residents.
looking at it. Residents, right? But it's a thought. I after this week and the judicial system, between the Supreme Court, between the Florida, between you know, what happened in not just Florida, but also in Georgia, and just watching the trend and watching these people, I don't know. I don't know if we can survive this. I don't know. I mean, I believe in prayer. I do believe in prayer, but I do believe prayer is an action word.
Listen to me.
So,
I think people need to prepare themselves for the worst case scenario, because here's the thing. When Trump was running back in 2015, everyone was just like, oh, they took him as a joke. Oh, it'll never happen. It'll never happen. And I kept saying to people, I was like, look, you think it can never happen? It can happen. And it can be really, really bad for us. And it turned out to be, I'm not a fortune teller or anything, but it turned out to be true. And to be honest with you, it's worse than I think any of us has ever imagined, because he's taken such a foothold of people and ideas. And the thing about it is that it's not even really him. He's just the front man for it's like the Wizard of Oz, you know. There's people behind the curtain actually pulling all these strings, and they're using him as the prop. Um, he's not that intelligent. And he really doesn't know. He doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, everything that he's doing now is just for him to keep out of jail. He doesn't care about anything.
it's
You
right.
know.
It's all about keeping him out of jail, doing this, and guess what? They're gonna play dirty. This is not.
Yeah.
I I I, I don't know how they're gonna. I'm just like, these folks know all the levers now. They've been in the White House. They know what they can do. They know what they can't do. They have an insight on what levers to pull to make this thing happen. You see what I mean? Think about it. Look at these cases. They're gone away because of the rules that are in place. It's not that, you know, the Fonnie Willis case, you know, the appellate court. It's real. It's
Yeah.
real. This is not. They're using the laws that are laws to create
Old
problems.
laws that they haven't stricken down. They just never enforced them. Now they're enforcing them. I wait. Go back to Elise's. Um, Oh no, yeah, that one. Yeah, I love that. Trump said that if he gets back in, he is going to do reparations for white people because of anti-white racism. Like, that is a thing now that a lot of politicians are saying out loud
Pushing.
and in public. Like, oh, it's anti-white racism. Like,
Yeah.
who would have thought in our lifetime you would have people doing this? Like, this is
And
crazy.
they're using the civil rights laws to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't make this up.
Hey,
If you
look.
read this, if you read what Stephen Miller has been doing with the farmers across this country, and in this whole new movement of anti-white racism, look up Steve Miller on Google and anti-white racism. They are suing. There are hundreds of court cases right now suing the government or suing governments under the banner of anti-white racism.
Listen to me. If you can open your mouth and have the nerve to say that slavery was training, like training for black people, you have something wrong with you. Like, that is the rhetoric that they're using now. That, oh no, slavery was a way to give black people skills. No, it wasn't. It was slavery.
And so you think they think that now. It doesn't end well for us as black folks. I'm just saying, or and Spanish folks and people of color. It doesn't end well if Project 2025 is put into full operation.
So listen.
She
before
says
you go,
perhaps. Oh, so go ahead. All right.
no, before you read that comment, for all those people of color that think that voting for Trump is a win for you, good luck to you, because you're the first ones they're going to come after.
Well, G says perhaps the plan should be to be reignited. A focus on civil duties, is part-time for a grassroots
Pastime.
movement. It is a pastime. Sorry, it's pastime for a grassroots movement. So true, G. I mean, but again, the country is asleep. But I have to say, I look at our young people today and this whole the Palestinian crisis, and the Gaza and the Jewish state and all the other stuff that's going on in the Middle East, and how they're fired up, and young people are fired up for more than just Gaza. I've been listening to some of these young commentators on TikTok. Yes, I've been visiting TikTok and some of these young commentators, and because I want to hear what the young folks are saying. I want to hear what these 20-year-olds, 24-year-olds, 25-year-olds, because they are the new voting bloc. A
You're going to
lot
be
of them
fully
could not
informed.
vote 4 years ago, but now they're going to be voting this year.
Yeah.
And I would like to know what they are thinking and what they are, what challenges their mindset. So, yeah, everyone needs to be involved. Everyone needs to be involved. And I can't, and again, the Trump world is a cult. So it's going to be hard to talk to people about, you can't insult people. You can't you can't belittle the Trumpsters. You can't make them feel like crap, because they don't. They're not going to. There's an allegiance to their cult leader. And if we've known anything in history, you look at the time here. If we look at history and cults around the world, you can talk as bad as you want about the cult leader. It makes them even more aligned and allegiance to that cult leader.
Yep.
Cults are powerful, and the mindset of cult behavior is powerful. You would think in this country where that isn't like, it's shocking that it's even in the voting for Trump or Biden. And it's scary. I have to tell you, I am scared. I'm usually not scared, because I always believe in prayer, and I believe in that humanity will do the right thing in the long run. I'm losing faith. So I need some I need some positive words today. So, but thank you guys for all the Thankful Thursday remarks. That definitely cheered me up. So here we go. Here we go. Elise says they are working to destroy everything non-white. Yes. Even if he loses, we are still in chaos. Yes, because he's not going to accept the loss. Elise said he has already said that he will deport 11 million people. Yes, if you have not read the Times article, take some time to read that Times article. If you don't believe, can we all agree, if someone tells you what they're going to do and who they are,
believe them.
Barrison says everybody voted for Trump to be in prison. For Trump to be in prison. Elise says so many of the young people are saying they are not going to vote. Yeah, scary. Elise says his supporters don't want to hear the truth. This is very true. And Elise says the media plays a major role in what is happening, because they're not talking about the stuff that is happening. And Brian says exactly. Okay, I think that's. Let me just give you some information here, and let me pop this off. And because I like to use my banners now these days. And let me see here. Hold on a second. Pop this off here. Hold on, Chris. You got any announcements? You got a show coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, so tomorrow is episode 7 of Safe Space. I've got Joelle on. She is a community activist, political activist, activist, and just a lovely person. She is a transgender woman, and I loved her story. So tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. on Indie Soup Network to watch that episode, and then we've got the season finale next week. I can't believe it's been 8 weeks already of airing this stuff. I'm just like blown away, but and the response has been really good for this show, and I'm super proud and excited of what I've done already, and I'm super excited for season 2. I've actually started recording it. I have the first episode already in the bag, completely done, and actually I'll be recording the second episode this Saturday. So it's it's doing well, and I'm just really glad that people are taking to it, and I hope that it's helping in some little small way.
Yes. Also, make sure if you're on the Instagram page, you should be moving yourself over to the YouTube channel because it's a much better experience in YouTube. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you do that. We are on YouTube under Ron Lewis Photos, and also just put in Touch Base Daily. It will pop up, and you will find us right here on YouTube. Also, you can find me on Instagram with Ron Lewis Photos, and you can find me there on TikTok as well, Ron Lewis Photos, and Facebook, Ron Lewis Photos. So Ron Lewis Photos for all of it. You'll find me there, and also if you're interested in getting some photography lessons, make sure you reach out to me. You can do that doing my virtual basic photography 101 and helping people better use their cameras. Also, a big thank you to all the sponsors from the Patreon community, especially those that do have been giving $25 and more to support what I do here online and my work as a photographer. So thank you, Eric Miss, and also the Patreon community. And if you want to have your name, your company on this, join the Patreon and pay more than $25 to support, and we'll put you on here as well and get your name here on the banner. So that way, look, last month we had more than 6,000 people that have been viewing our page. So on this channel, so I'm very happy. So you will be visible. That would be great. And I think that's it. I think we got it all in. Also, if you want to see us this evening, the rerun will be on Indie Soup Media. And so we'll be doing that. So check us out at the 4 o'clock hour on YouTube. And if you just want to see it at any time during the day, just make sure you just pop in on our Touch Base Daily, and it is recorded for everyone. So you guys are a great community. It is so good to always spend time with y'all. And I see the media play a major role. Okay, got that. We need Thursdays to go. She says, we need Thursdays to go longer. Too much to talk about. But, folks got to get back to work. So we got to be respectful for the working folks in the building. I think that's it, Chris. I think we're good.
And we're really good on time today.
We did good. We did good today. And guys, keep your eyes on the headlines because you need to know what's going on in the world. We just bring up a couple of them. This community just brings up a couple of them, but make sure you dive in again, repeat. Read Project 2025. And if you have not read the Donald Trump interview with Time Magazine last week, read it. Read it. It's a short read. It's a much easier read than the Project 2025, but you'll get the gist of 2025 by reading the Time article. A lot of it is in it. Okay, guys, have a wonderful Thursday. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for the thankful thoughts, and we're out of here. Later.